in the previous class, we are discussing about the introduction of lighting control, advantages of lighting control, benefits of lighting control, okay, and also the types of lighting control. Today, we are going to discuss about the strategy for selection. What is the goal of a well-designed lighting control system? The goal of a well-designed lighting control system is to reduce energy consumption while providing adequate light for the task at hand. Many studies show that individual control strategies save between one quarter and one third of lighting energy, while combining multiple control strategies can derive nearly 40% savings. Okay. Now the strategies for lighting control are selecting the different lighting zone, switching, smart time scheduling, occupancy or vacancy detection, dimming, daylight harvesting, load shedding or demand response, high-end task tuning, scene selection or personal control, integrating with building automation system. Okay. Now we are discussing separately each of the strategies. So, what about the lighting zones? The different areas of a building have different lighting needs. A large open office space might need the lights on all day, but could save energy by turning most of the lights off at night. Lighting in a conference room that is only used intermittently could be turned off until someone enters the room. The areas near window can take advantage of natural daylight by dimming lights during the day. Each of these lighting zones can be managed with one or more lighting strategies. Well-planned lighting zones and the lighting control strategies used to manage them should be identified based on how much light is needed, where and when. Okay. The second strategy is switching. Switching lights on and off is the most basic form of lighting control. Unfortunately, lights are often left burning while they are not needed. That means where there is no personnel in the room, but the light is turning on. A simple switch connected to a vacancy detector can be a powerful and inexpensive tool to reduce the energy used in areas like closets and the conference rooms. Now, the third strategy is the smart time scheduling. A smart scheduling system for lighting controls manages light levels based on time of day and day of the week. A typical open office space or retail business might have all lights on during business hours and rely on switches and vacancy detectors after hours. Now, the occupancy or the vacancy detection. The vacancy detectors save energy by turning off light when areas are vacant. Occupancy sensors add convenience by turning light on when the device senses human presence. This device can range from a simple passive infrared detector built into a light switch to a network detector that controls the lighting and also contributes to an integrated building automation strategy, sharing occupancy or vacancy information with other components of a building automation system. Next, the dimming. This strategy can maximize the energy savings of lighting control strategies by dropping light levels to their most effective level. Fluorescent lighting, while efficient, typically does not respond well to the dimming. New LED technologies offers enhanced 0 to 10 volt dimming that not only saves energy, these new does not respond to the dimming, but the new LED technology offers enhanced 0 to 10-fold dimming that not only saves the energy but also improves the comfort of a space by bringing lighting to the level that best suits the use of the room. The fifth strategy is the daylight harvesting. That means the utilizing the sunlight. Utilizing dimming technology or on or off switching, daylight harvesting saves energy by reducing light levels where there is enough ambient light through windows, skylights, or other sources. The photosensors for daylight harvesting can be a data point in an integrated lighting control network or work with a standalone system. The sixth strategy is load shedding or the demand response. To cut peak demand or reduce the stress on the electric power grid, many utilize offer load shedding or demand response programs in exchange for incentives or lower energy costs. Network lighting control system can take advantages of these programs by temporarily reducing light levels in response to the signal from the utility purposes. The next is the high-end task tuning. The commercially buildings are typically over-illuminated. Light levels may have been designed for paperwork, while typical office tasks have switched to self-lit computer screens. High-end task tuning saves energy by setting light levels to the correct, safe, comfortable level for the task. Next is the scene selection or the personal control. Preset lighting scenes allow the occupants of a space to match lighting levels to changing needs during the workday. Lighting scenes may include turning off lights in the front of a classroom for a film, raising light levels for detailed tasks, dimming lights to create a mood, or turning off the lights to reduce energy use. Next strategy is integration with building automation system. An open, non-proprietary lighting control network allows lighting, high voltage AC, and security systems to share occupancy signals across the building control system and enables off-site monitoring, control, and optimizing for ongoing energy efficiency. Next are what are the applications of lighting control? From the office to the warehouse, your client offers a wide range of lighting controls to meet every need. Choose from an array of wired or wireless solutions, control options, dimmers, occupancy or vacancy sensors, and more, all easy to install and easy to use. For the conference room or large office, devices typically are used are the photosensor to balance natural and artificial light for optimal light level. Next is occupancy detector to keep lights off when not needed. A wall interface module for end user control of dimming or scene selection. Optional integration with backnet building control system. This is for the conference room or for the large office. Next, for the individual office without windows, devices typically used are wired or wireless switch with ceiling mounted wireless occupancy sensors. For the storage closet, recommended devices to be used include word wall box occupancy sensor, and the switch. Hallway. Recommended devices to be used include wireless or wired switch with ceiling mounted wireless occupancy sensors. The stairwell. Recommended devices include the occupancy detector to hold all stairwell fixtures at minimum required foot candles at floor level when vacant and to brighter user-defined foot candles when occupied. Next is for the kitchen or the cafeteria. Recommend devices include the photosensors to balance natural and artificial light for optimal light level, wall module for control of dimming or scene selections. Next is zone schedule to hold lighting on when cafeteria is open and operate on occupancy sensor when cafeteria is closed. Next is optional integration with BACnet building control system. Now for the open office area. Open office area. Recommended devices include the wall module for end user control of dimming or scene selection, the zone schedule to hold lighting on during office hours. Lights can be switched on or off or operate on occupancy sensor after hours. Lighting circuit along windows tied to photosensor for daylight harvesting. Optional integration with BACnet building control system. Now for the individual offices with windows. The recommended devices include the integrated photosensor to balance natural and artificial light for optimal light level, occupancy detector to keep lights off when not needed, wall module for end user control for dimming or scene selection, the optional integration with BACnet building control system. Now for the parking garage. What about the parking garage? Photosensor to balance natural and artificial light for optimal light level. Now, the second is the occupancy detector to keep lights off when not needed in certain areas of the garage. The third one is the optional integration with BACnet building control system. Next is contact Yockland controls, as we can assist you in applying the right products and systems for the applications. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about the techniques of achieving the energy efficient lighting design. Okay. So what are the techniques of achieving energy efficient lighting designs? The first one is relamping with energy efficient lights. The energy efficient lamp can deliver the same amount of lighting with greater energy saving at low cost when compared with conventional lamps. Traditional incandescent lamps consume a lot of energy to produce light, in which 90% of consumed energy is given off as heat, and also they consume more energy, typically 3 to 5 times more than the actual amount to produce the light. Energy efficient lamps overcome these problems by offering many more advantages than the incandescent ones. The two most popular choices of energy efficient light bulbs, including the compact fluorescent lamps and the light emitting diode lamps. The second is the improving the lighting control. Lighting can be controlled with the use of various sensors to allow the operation of lamps whenever they are needed. These sensors detect the presence of humans, motion, timing, or occupancy, and based on the sensor output, it switches the lamps on and off. Types of these controls include infrared sensors, automatic timers, motion sensor, that means the PIR, and ultrasonic sensors and the dimmers. The photosensor monitored the daylight conditions and accordingly sent the signals to main controller to turn the lamps automatically off at dawn and on at the dusk. This type of lighting control is commonly used with the street lighting and the outdoor lighting. Street lighting is another major area of energy conservation as it contributes considerable power consumption, especially in the highways. Centralized control systems are most commonly used in the street light control. The popular centralized control is the SCADA. The full form of SCADA is the Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition system, which ensures the remote control of operation of the street lights from a central location. So SCADA is actually nothing but a system or a software which control or operates the operation of the street light from a centralized GSM or GPRS based system are also used to perform the remote control operation of the street light. Now, the replacing of existing fixtures and the ballasts. Replacing energy inefficient accessories with new energy efficient fixtures and ballast gives superior energy savings, longevity, and the reliability. The main function of a luminaire or lighting fixture is to distribute, direct, and the diffuse light. Some fixtures can absorb more than half of the illumination emitted the bulb that reduce the efficiency of the lighting. The higher efficiency fixtures can emit more light and hence one can save energy and money. Such fixtures consist of reflectors to direct the light in a desired direction. Now, all discharge lamps require a ballast for achieving the required operation. Conventional magnetic type ballast cause power losses, which is typically 15% of the lamp wattage. And it also raises the fixture temperature during the operation. So, the proper ballast must be chosen to reduce the ballast losses, fixture temperatures, and the system wattage. In today's market, many electronic and solid state types of ballast are available, which can save 20 to 30% energy consumption over the standard ballast. Okay. Now, what are the role of computers in lighting design? Professional lighting designers, including the architects and electrical and municipal engineers, rely on the lighting design and analysis software to calculate lighting levels for buildings and the roadways. While their designs must satisfy national and international lighting standards in the interest of the public safety, they must also address aesthetic and often artistic expectations. Good lighting is something we can all appreciate. So lighting design and analysis software must therefore fulfill the two roles. So firstly, it must be able to accurately predict the distribution of light in an architectural environment, and secondly, it should but not necessarily must be able to generate physically plausible images of the environment. Tables of numbers and plots are useful, but a picture is worth 1,000 words. Why? When designing with light. So if we can see the image of a building instead of just for putting the number and tables and plots, then it can easy for us to visualize and to design the lighting properly. Okay, so that's why it is more advantageous and more applicable. So now today's software fulfill the above two requirements nicely, but the introduction of solid state lighting based on high brightness LEDs, together with a renewed emphasis on natural daylight as a light source within the architectural community, is bringing new capabilities to both commercial and the open source products. Okay, so there are some softwares used in the lighting design. They are the Dialog software, AGI32, Relux, Autodesk, Revit. Okay, generally more commonly Dialog software is used for the designing purpose. Okay, so that's all for today.